I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh Lord, we come to you today to make the best possible decision for the citizens of Boonville by this council. In Jesus' name, we pray.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Barry. Roll call.
Oh, let me get my stuff together. Elbert.
Here.
Venable.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
Bechtel.
Here.
Young.
Here.
Meadows. Howard.
Here.
Harville.
Here. Hearing of citizens' comments. Do we have anybody? Okay. Approval of the minutes of the December 1 council minutes. Any adjustments? Then they will stand as submitted. There are no consent items. Presentation of accounts and claims on page 6.
Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the City of Boonville, which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on December 15th, 2025, the sum of $416,585.17. General Fund, $208,399.62. Sanitation, $69,331.73. CIP tax, $38,563.22. Waterworks, $41,189.33. Capital projects, $0.00. Wastewater, $25,194.53. Tourism, $18,932.48. Gaming, $8,279.04. Parks and Water, $6,695.22. Timber sales tax, $0.00. Economic Development Project, $0.00. Section 2, the accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $416,585.17, being the total amount of money being appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. First reading December 15, 2025. Read for the second time this December 15, 2025, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mayor, I move we approve this ordinance appropriating money.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Elbert.
Yes.
Venable.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Bechtel.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Harville.
Yes.
Passes. Presentation of accounts and claims. It's on page 6.
Just did that one.
We just did that one.
Yeah.
You're right. And I didn't check it off. Boy, gotta get with it. Unfinished business. Second reading of bill number 2025-029. Amending the solid waste collection fees portion of the administrative fees, Appendix G, in the Code of General Ordinances. Item B.
We'll just do A first.
Hold on.
Okay.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, amending solid waste collection fees portion of the schedule of administrative fees, Appendix G in the Code of General Ordinances, providing an effective date therefore and repealing parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Mayor, I move that we approve this ordinance.
I'll second.
Thank you. Got a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Elbert.
No.
Venable.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Bechtel.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Coward.
Yes.
Harville.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item B, second reading of bill number 2025-030, approving an agreement with Black Flock LLC. Easy for you to say. Page 11.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, approving a commercial lease and operating agreement with Black Flock LLC and Josh Black individually for management of Hale Ridge Golf Course.
Mayor, make the motion we approve this ordinance.
The motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Albert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Bechtel,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Coward,
Yes.
Harville.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8, new business. Consider resolution 2025-17, authorizing and approving an agreement with Environmental Works for Phase 1 site assessment. It's on page 24.
A resolution of the City of Boonville, Missouri authorizing and approving an agreement between Environmental Works and the City of Boonville, Missouri pertaining to Phase 1 site assessment at FT Kemper Park in compliance with CDBG requirements and providing an effective date therefore, whereas the City of Boonville has solicited and received proposals for this project, determined that Environmental Works represents the best proposal pursuant to the purchasing code set forth in Section 2-20 of the City of Boonville Code of Ordinances, and whereas the Phase 1 site assessment is required for CDBG funding, which was awarded to the City of Boonville for academic hall renovations at FT Kemper Park. Therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that a certain agreement between Environmental Works and the City of Boonville, Missouri relating to Phase 1 site assessment, a copy of which is marked Exhibit A is attached hereto and made a part hereof is hereby approved. Section 2, the city administrator and city clerk are hereby authorized to execute and test said agreement on behalf of the City of Boonville. Section 3, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage and approval past the 15th day of December 2025 by the City Council of Boonville, Missouri.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve Resolution 2025-17.
And a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
Just one. So Phase 1 identifies contamination or anything of that sort, remediation necessity. Do we have a funding strategy for Phase 2 or remediation?
Well, we really don't think there's anything there. So we have several other assessments of asbestos that have always been negative. It's just that the time frame from when we did them last, CDBG requires them. Obviously, any lead paint, you're gonna repaint.
Yeah, sure.
So,
So this is a repeat of what we've done before? We didn't find anything?
yeah, so there's been 2 site assessments at Kemper and Academic Hall, Academic Hall has always come clean. And the other ones that have been hot are hot, and this one has always been clean. So I have no reason to think it wouldn't be.
Okay.
If there is asbestos, then it would be remediated, and we can either add that, usually go back to CDBG for some more funding, or else we'll clean it up, and we have to clean it up. That's the answer.
Okay.
Good question. Any other questions? Roll call.
Albert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Bechtel,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Coward,
Yes.
Harville.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Item B, consider resolution 2025-18, authorizing and approving an agreement with Missouri Department of Economic Development for CDBG funding. Page 25.
A resolution of the City of Boonville, Missouri authorizing and approving an agreement between the Missouri Department of Economic Development and the City of Boonville, Missouri pertaining to Community Development Block Grant CDBG program, providing an effective date therefore. Whereas the City of Boonville applied for CDBG funds to support the construction of a roundabout on Main Street, Route B in Americana, and whereas the City Council approved Resolution R 2025-11, approving and authorizing the application for funding and committing matching funds for the project. And whereas the City of Boonville has been notified that their application was successful on December 8, 2025, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that a certain agreement between the Missouri Department of Economic Development and the City of Boonville, Missouri relating to Community Development Block Grant Agreement, a copy of which marked Exhibit A is attached hereto and made a part hereof is hereby approved. Section 2, that the mayor and city clerk are hereby authorized to execute and attest said agreement on behalf of the City of Boonville. Section 3, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage and approval past the 15th day of December 2025 by the City Council of Boonville, Missouri.
Is there a motion?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion we approve the above resolution.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second it.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Over.
Yes.
Venable.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Bechtel.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Coward.
Yes.
And Harville.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item C, first reading of bill number 2025-031, approving a final site plan for AECI Utility Services at 2415 Mid-America Industrial Drive. It's on page 56.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri approving the final site plan for AECI Utility Solutions, 2415 Mid-America Industrial Drive, Boonville, Cooper County, Missouri, providing an effective date therefore and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Thank you. Item 9, reports of standing committees. Planning and zoning on page 81. Any questions or comments? Si, you have anything to say about it?
No, we just went over the final site plan review for the 2415 Mid-American Industrial Drive. It was a unanimous approval. One issue was brought up about stormwater. Everything else had been addressed by the city engineer. But we went ahead and approved it as a committee. So,
And I'll just note that we heard from Miko today, so the outstanding item has been fixed, and so
sweet.
they're done.
Anybody got questions for Si? Okay, item B, airport board, September 4.
Yeah, I'll do B and C together. September 4 minutes are in the packet.
Can you speak up just a bit?
September 4 minutes are in the packet. There was some discussion regarding the improved taxiway. The December 4 meeting was canceled due to lack of agenda items, and that is also noted in the packet.
Okay, I was a little confused by the, who's paying on the extension?
Well, it was a grant there. We paid 10%, and the federal whatever, MoDOT
The
slash the
FAA.
FAA paid the other 90, so it was about a $1.2 million project.
Nice.
And it's
Nice.
complete. So all concrete
So our
taxiways.
tax dollars are actually doing something?
Somebody's there.
All right. Let's go here. I have no comments. City administrator.
So I did provide a Q3 project update, and I'll just pause there. If you guys have any questions, it starts on page 89, and then you can ask any of the department heads if you have any questions or about progress or updates on those things. The items that are in light green are obviously done, and then the items in pink, I assume, are going to be carried over to the next fiscal year, most likely. So, with that, do you guys have any other questions on those?
This is just a high-level question, probably not pertaining to this particularly, but where are we at with all the street stuff that we did last fiscal year? I know it was a multi-year project, but we have 4th Street.
Oh, that's the project they're working on right now, and we just got an update today that they're on 4th Street and they're back to the bowling alley.
And what are they doing, putting in water line?
Water and sewer line, and then they'll have a 2-inch overlay.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed that they were digging. I assume that was all part of it.
Yep. And they finished over there on Reams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water and sewer then.
Yep.
When are they paving Reams?
Yeah, when's the overlay?
Well, they're talking about doing it at the very end of everything, so I don't know how that's gonna work very well or not. They actually went back on Ring Street and put some more gravel down on that road too.
I think
Took
that,
in at one time to do all of it.
Yeah.
Plus the weather's not right now either for it.
Yeah, it's probably one of those things, if you do it right now, it's probably not gonna, it's probably better to do it in the spring anyways.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so just a little bit on fiscal year 26-27 budget comments. I provided you with a quick overview on the general fund revenues, kind of letting you see what we were last year, where we are this year, and what our budget was. I do think we're gonna get where we need to get. I think almost all of them are looking on track. The only one that's not gonna make it, but that's okay, because we didn't know what we didn't know, is probably the marijuana tax. But it's also in part because it's a little bit goofy how they pay us. They only pay us every quarter, and that's the only sales tax that we get like that. So you really end up missing a couple months in the fiscal year. So like I said, we'll get a payment in January, and then we won't get another one until April. So it's really the last payment of our fiscal year. It's a little bit strange. And this year we'll have a lag. Next year you'll kind of get like a whole year, but this year it's kind of weird. But we also really didn't know what we would get, so, again, it's not a primary source of our revenue, but it's of course nonetheless helpful, so what we'll get we'll use. And then the rest of them I think are coming on track. The next thing is I just put a note in there about health insurance. So the city, for new people who haven't heard, we're self-funded, and we've been that way for as long as I've been here, and I think for some time before then. So a couple years ago, we embedded Big Tree into our program to help modify our costs, just because primarily it was on our prescription medication, and so we were able to pay the membership fee to Big Tree, and then we get all the sort of maintenance medication for free for the employees, and then it kind of keeps it off of our books, and so it helps when they go out to put our insurance to bid every year. We also have to have kind of an aggregate deductible on our insurance. Right now is 79%. They'd like for you to be at 80. That's just the reserve fund, so in case the catastrophic happened and everything went wrong. You hope that never happens, but you're supposed to have enough to cover. They like to see at 80%. We do have a little bit of a reserve fund here in the city as well as with GBH, so we're closer than that. But anyways, for those reasons, I think that was a slight reason why our insurance kind of went up a little bit. So I did do a moderate increase for the employees. It was between $2 and $5 a month, so it's $52 if you're an employee only, if you're per month, if it's employee, spouse.
I don't know about all that. I just know the number, the 455.
That's right, so 455.
Right. That's, I think, employee plus children. I don't know the other.
Employee, spouse, I think, is like 500, and then family is like about 600. So those went up $5, the contribution on their end. And then we also increased our contribution $5 as well. So we give $1,020 each month per employee for insurance, or per member, so if it's a family. Other insurance information, I provided the renewal quote from First State. I told you it was kind of a mixed bag. The big problem is the general liability policy went up 12%, which it is grossly larger than any of our other insurances that went down. So we're still going to owe more. I did ask for some information. It's a couple of factors. A lot of it is external things that we continue to not be able to have any control. Floods, tornadoes. They said terrible weather in Missouri this year, I guess, with the tornadoes. So those sort of things. But also we get dinged in the insurance agency generally because of, things that happen in Florida.
The main policy with Tokyo Marine looks like it went up 20%.
It went from that 297. He told me 12, but I guess I didn't check his math. But.
Yeah.
68.
And I'll double check that.
63,000, yeah.
I'll double check that number with him.
Yeah, because it looks like 20% to me. That's what.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other thing is that I've been slowly doing is when we first started with Tokyo Marine and First State, our total insured value at the city was like $56 million, which again, you hope the whole world doesn't get destroyed, but $56 million would certainly not cover very much.
Yeah.
So I have been slowly increasing our total insured value on items each year, but every time you add more value, it goes up in price. So that's something I've just been doing. I think we're at like 86 million now, so we're still probably woefully underfunded, but again.
Kate, how often do we, and I don't want to open a Pandora's box here, but how often do we let that out? Like, do we put that out for our...
They bid this one this year again for us. So we've been with First State for several years, and we have bid out our insurance, like the middleman, the carrier. But these guys did bid out this year our insurance, and they do several, and just the same with our health insurance. Our health insurance is bid out every year as well. And Tokyo Marine still looks like our best offer. So we're probably due, honestly, to bid out the insurance again next year.
Okay.
On the provider. So, it's unfortunately it is what it is. You really don't have much control over it. They just tell, I mean, you guys all know you have car insurance and health insurance too. So, the next thing is workers' comp. I've yet to receive a number, but we have had an excellent year again. So thanks to all of the employees for their really conscientious work. So I think we should continue to keep our EMOD low. If you remember last year, we dropped down below I think we're 0.86, and I think we should stay there this year, something similar. Anything below 1 is excellent. So I think we should be doing good there. And then also on loggers, we haven't quite received the increase on that loggers. For those of you who don't know, that's the city's retirement. It's a defined pension plan. And we, last year, elected to raise our contribution rate, so they're at the 2% modifier, which is a big deal. It's a good appeal to keep people here. And I think, not very many people have a defined pension benefit plan, so it's kind of a nice thing for all the employees to have. There will be an increase because there's an increase every year. I think it won't be as significant as last year because we had to buy up all the way to the 2 modifier. But I anticipate it still being somewhere in the 5 to 6, 7% probably. So that's kind of where we are in the insurances, and those of course affect all of the budgets across the board. And other than the general liability insurance, it's certainly doable, and I think we can absorb it with our continued growth. So I didn't include it, but I was looking today. I feel for like the first time in several years, I can see the growth in the city. Our water and sewer revenues are coming in higher than we anticipated. So, sort of heartening to see because as we get more people, then there's more people to help spread the necessary improvements over. So hopefully that one day we can help lessen the increases as they come across. So. I'm happy to answer any questions about those. I think next week you'll start actually seeing some number budget stuff. So we're going to talk about economic development, that'll be Jim. And I'll have the admin budget ready for you, debt service, and the airport. So.
Okay.
But I'm happy to answer any other questions if you guys have any.
Any concerns about where the year numbers are kind of coming in?
No, I mean, the year numbers are going to be what they're going to be. I have some concerns about all of the capital costs that we have accruing over the next 2 or 3 years and making sure they fit. There are things that we've obligated ourselves to, obviously, whether by passing temporary sales taxes to do improvements or committing to do improvements. But again, I do think we're kind of getting near the end of those improvements, those capital projects that we have to do, particularly at Kemper. Obviously getting the $500,000 on the roundabout will really help because that's more money that we can put in at Kemper. But also we're nearing, in a couple of years, we're going to have paid off several COPs. So some of the things that we maybe need to be improving, like parking and infrastructure on the backside of Kemper to accommodate some of that growth. We'll have freed up some COP, some debt money that we're no longer spending. The soccer field and the I&I basin will be freed up, so that will also help with some new sewer projects. So I think a lot of it will come in at the right time. It's just going to be hoping the construction and the bidding takes about what I think it's going to take. But where we are in the revenues, I think they're okay. I mean, you always wish you were gonna see a little more growth, but, there is some growth, so that's good. And I'm also excited to kind of see what this year generally will be a good year for general revenues, to see what happens in our next fiscal year between, the addition of the ball fields there at Brady Ballpark, the stuff with America 250, the World Cup. I'm sure we'll get some spin-off ancillary from all of those big events. So hopefully next year we'll see some more growth, and whether it's sustained in the long term, we'll find out.
And Kate, have we done any financial modeling potentially for tax revenue from the new ball fields? Do we have an idea of what that might look like?
No, it's very hard to
I
tell.
know it is, yeah.
And you can do, I mean, like Jim has been done some modeling for us on some things.
Which ball fields? The
The new one?
The new one.
soccer one?
That we,
Ballpark Central.
Ballpark
Park
Central.
Central.
I was gonna say, because I know Brady had mentioned that she had modeled out the
Yeah.
benefits to the city
Well,
for the
I've always-
for the baseball fields, so.
yeah,
I have always found sales tax a very tricky
it's very hard.
number to chase,
Yeah.
because it just makes no sense. Like, you would think they would come in and you're like, oh, it's 100, or it's 100, it's 100, oh, it's Christmas, so now it's 300, but then all of a sudden there's like 8,000, and you're like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And they don't give you any information. So is it a one-off? Are they paying back taxes you don't know about? I mean, you just see a line item.
Yeah.
And I used to track every month and several businesses to try to see if I could find the magic thread, but I never found it, so I kind of just gave up. And I mean, as long as I kind of keep watching each month, as long as they're steadily similar, or
Trending in the right
slowly
direction.
trending in the right
Yeah.
direction, that's good. So, and yes, they do modeling, but I'm yet to ever see a model and then be like, yes, here it is in our sales tax revenue. It just doesn't work that way. And but again, I think the nice thing too for the city is, thanks to the support of the citizens, we are, well diversified with our revenue sources, so we're really fortunate in that, there's money for parks, there's money for stormwater, there's money for capital projects, so, and of course gaming, so we have a lot of other pots. If we didn't have those things and we were just talking like general fund and CIP, and there was no gaming, I think it would be a very different city. So we're able to do a lot of things because of that, so. Any other questions?
City Councilor?
You got anything?
Oh, me? Actually, I do.
City Clerk?
Sorry. I just want to give an update on the filing for the April election. 4 people have filed so far, 2 for mayor, which is Morris Carter and Mike Conway. Cy Harville has filed for Ward 4, and Andrew Cowherd has filed for Ward 3. No one has filed for 1 or 2, and the filing period ends December 30th. So if you know anyone, send them my way. That's it.
Now I've got a report. I'll try to be brief so we can move on. But before you all get any phone calls from your constituents, I'd like to go ahead and address the council. The City of Boonville made the news tonight because earlier today we initiated demolition on the 2 houses at 806 and 810 3rd Street. We have been in regular coordination with Grice and with Mr. Haig at the building department, but I want to give you a quick timeline in case you catch phone calls, and if nothing else, so I can preserve this timeline for the record in case anybody at home is watching. If you'll recall, on April 21st, we had a city council meeting here where property owners signed a consent order that they would agree to abate all dangerous conditions no later than August 1st. And in that order, it stated specifically that if those dangerous conditions continued to exist, the city reserved the right to demolish those buildings. August 1st came and went with no complete abatement per the repair plan that was in the order. Property owner appeared before the council the following Monday at the August 4th council meeting and asked for more time. And the council was gracious enough to authorize 1 week for a property owner to secure a building permit and to immediately abate the dangerous conditions
to the satisfaction of the building inspector no later than September 4th. On September 15th, our building inspector did an on-site investigation and inspection, then circled back again on October 21st with photographs to show that no compliance of the abatement of the dangerous conditions had been satisfied. Thereafter, I drafted a letter to the property owner informing him that the city was moving forward with the order from April 21st that the buildings were going to be demolished to remove any personal property therein. The city was moving forward. Shortly after the service of that letter, Department of Natural Resources contacted us because someone had expressed concern about the potential of asbestos in those properties. The city has employed GIM Environmental. We did our samples. We submitted them to Department of Natural Resources. Came back that where no deficiencies were found. We've secured the proper demolition permits and initiated demolition this morning. It made the news tonight because someone called the local television stations, so I want to make the council very aware, should you get any phone calls or concerns from your constituency, that the city has done everything. You all, I believe everyone was here at the April 21st meeting. We have documented information that this was agreed upon, that property owner was going to abate the dangerous conditions by a deadline. We even extended that deadline multiple times, and the properties are now in the process of being demolished and cleaned up by the city, per the order. Any questions?
Has any of this information been shared with media? And if not, should we proactively do so?
If they want, I can draft an official written
Press
statement.
release, just a press
I
release?
was watching the news before I came up here,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, we made the news.
Again, no.
But one of the things that I was doing prior to the meeting was making sure that I had the documentation on the city's behalf in order.
Yeah.
Should someone request it, obviously it's sunshineable. I'm happy to disclose it to any media outlets that want it, because we have written consent orders from property owners that we weren't going to be in this situation. So, but I anticipate someone out there is going to call one of you all and say what's going on with those buildings. So now we've got recorded timeline.
Have they called you? I mean, I'm just reading their story, and it says they've tried multiple times to reach Boonville officials. I mean, have they tried to reach out? Who's
They
they?
call City Hall, but
They did? Okay.
I choose not to.
Yeah.
It's-
And if, for what it's worth, I had municipal court this morning,
Yeah.
and I wasn't in my office, so I don't even know if they tried to contact my office.
Got it.
But back to what Tanner said, I think the best course of action at this point is if they want some information, I'm happy to provide anything and everything, because all it does is solidify the city's position that this goes back to April 21st of this year, when there was an agreement that these dangerous conditions were going to be abated. And if you'll see, the article makes no reference to the fact that the buildings were declared dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so well documented. They can just go through many, many logs of
And now they can watch our YouTube video.
And they
Yeah.
probably won't.
yeah.
So the story that I saw was a bit one-sided
Oh, yeah.
about preservation of log cabins.
Exactly.
They did not talk about the fact that the sides of the houses weren't there. So, but if any of your constituents have any questions or concerns, they're welcome to reach out to me as well.
Thank you for doing that.
Yep.
So Brad, just one thing in the article. The owner states that the permit would expire in 2026, February 7th of 2026.
So
This
he's
permit.
referencing, I didn't read the online article, I watched
just
it. He's referencing the building permit, and that the building permit was what we were supposed to secure by August 11th, 7 days after our August 4th meeting, and that building permit would be good for 6 months. But the agreement on record was he was going to abate the dangerous conditions
Fix the
within
dangerous
30
conditions
days.
first.
And then finish the house.
And then,
That's what, I was just wanting clarity, but
yeah, because I made the comments prior that if he got the dangerous conditions abated, we don't care if he takes 2 years and continues to renew his building permits. It was the dangerous conditions that were the concern for the safety and well-being of citizens of Boonville.
Yeah, I think that's a big important distinction there, is having a building permit is one thing, but having a dangerous building hearing is a
Yeah.
completely separate.
By paying for a 6-month building permit did not give him 6 months, and he was well aware of that, because if you will recall, I addressed him specifically at the council meeting on August 4th, and I said, you understand, no more continuances. This is it. And unfortunately, September 15th, on-site inspection, October 21st, on-site inspection, Mr. Haig, who had the authority, directed the demolition, and we gave proper notice to him.
Okay, thank you.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Brad.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Let's see, Public Works Monthly Report for November 2025.
It's just in the packet for your reference.
Any questions or comments on it? So it passes, is that what we're saying? Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
You know how to do that. It's almost like you have some practice. We have motions and seconds. Everybody vote by getting up and going.
And a spam call.